Manage your expectations and you manage your reality. All right, cool. You're probably thinking, Guapo, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, let me finish. Pause. All right, let me finish. So, your expectations are quite literally one of the precursors behind your reality because they are one of the keys of your frequency slash identity slash state of consciousness. Different ways to say the same thing. Now, you have been conditioned to expect the worst, and you have been doing this without realizing that you expecting the worst only increases the potentiality of the worst occurring. Your life is only shit because you expect it to be shit. No. How have you been conditioned into actually expecting life to be bad? Where did this all go wrong? So, first things first, you have to actually realize that when you had that negative experience, you know what? Scrap that. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. The example that I'm actually going to give you is wow. Okay, so fucking hell. Is an example which probably 99.9% of the world can actually relate to. And this is the example of the dating scene, specifically Gen Z. Cool. You meet someone, and then this person does you dirty. All right. You thought this person was going to be the one, yet they cheated on you. They were talking shit about you. They never really liked you. Whatever. Blah, blah, blah. You get the point. It's something that a lot of people have experienced already. And this then created a perception of the dating scene. And that perception of the dating scene was that the dating scene was shit. Don't trust bitches. Can't trust men. What else is there? Uh, I don't know. I think that's the. I remember just seeing like DTB trending back in like I don't know 2020, 2021. People still even make content in alignment with that today. Quick example. Sorry, I love my examples, right? I love my examples because they're actually kind of funny, right? This one's actually kind of funny. And this is the example where like someone will post if your goal was at this event, oh trust me, your goal was going, all right? Now you go down into the comments and you see that one guy who said, nah, my goal's different. Cool. Now under that one comment, this guy's getting flamed by everyone. Everyone's saying, "Oh, no, no, he thinks these goals are one. Oh, no, no, just wait, bro. Just wait. It's gonna happen soon. Oh, he doesn't know yet. Oh, does he know? Does he know?" I can't lie. They are kind of funny. They are kind of funny, but at the same time, it's creating that sense of just the dating scene being shit, and it creates that projection of insecurity. Because okay, I don't know the guy, right? Whatever, like the comment that he posted and in the comments that wonder, I don't know the guy, right? But social media is very, how do I say this? It is very impressioning. I don't know if that is the right word to describe it, but it essentially feeds you information and causes for emotional triggers. It causes for emotions to be generated. And emotion is the language of the subconscious mind. So whenever a specific emotion is generated in relation to a specific thought form, that emotion is then imprinted into your subconscious, and your subconscious mind is quite literally the perpetrator behind the current reality that you live in. It is literally what perpetuates 99.9% of the actions that you take, down to your breathing, up to, I don't know, going to the gym. Okay, obviously it starts with a conscious thought, but then obviously everything that is unconscious, which is also subconscious, like the moving of the arms or the legs to walk to the gym, the actual lifting of the weights. If you don't really think, oh, I've got to individually move every single muscle fiber to get this weight up, that's not how it works. Your subconscious mind is in control of that. It's also in control of your breathing. I already said that. I meant it's in control of your heart, right? Your heart pumping blood around your body. Okay. Now, like I said, this will then create that negative association with that specific subject. In this case, it's the dating scene. And because you already have that perception, right, you will then begin to expect things in alignment with that perception. And then your expectations then dictate your reality, as I said before, so then that begins to become your reality. So I've said two examples here. The first one was you experiencing it yourself, and the other was simply just projection from another person or a group of people, if it's on social media. So, in order for you to, in a way, shield your heart, what you will do is you will begin to expect negative things to happen, so that when negative things happen, you then, in turn, are not too damaged by it. You still get fucking damaged, to be honest with you. You still get damaged. It still hurts a little bit, but the blow is softened. You don't feel it as much. Now, this could be seen as good. It isn't really at all, to be honest, but it could be seen as good because the blow is softened in a way. But what you don't realize is that then leads to you expecting it to go that way when it wasn't gonna fucking go that way, when it shouldn't have gone that way. Someone could have one tiny little mishap. Obviously, this isn't the use case of the example of the dating scene. Someone could have one tiny little mishap, and then because of your expectations, which have been created from your previous reactions, you then begin to perpetuate that reality which you don't want to happen. Quick example of this. You meet a new guy or a new girl, okay? I like to keep my examples gender neutral. The second one wasn't gender neutral, but, you know, for the sake of, for the people watching me, I'm going to keep it gender neutral. So, you meet a guy or a girl. This guy or girl seems perfect. They seem perfect, like a perfect partner. They do one little thing wrong. Maybe they maintain a conversation with someone who was clearly flirting with them, but they don't know. But because of your previous experiences, right, your expectations in regard to the current experience that is going on is going to be, oh no, this guy is actually, or this girl is actually maintaining this conversation. That's your perception, right? Cool. So then what you expect is for that person to then just be a shit partner because, oh, what the fuck? Essentially, you will become a perfectionist in regards to your partner. You will look for them to be perfect. Now, this is not me saying that the guy should or the girl should be flirting back, all right? Because I'm telling you this from an outside perspective, right? I'm giving you this example from an outside perspective where you are just a person looking at what is happening and then dictating the flow, right? You're telling yourself, okay, this is what's happening, even though it's only going based off of what you can see. And what you can see is only what you believe. And what I mean by that is your beliefs, your perception, your expectations quite literally filter out your experience to a specific set of reality. This is also why I don't like to say that there are beliefs that aren't limiting, because every single belief is limiting. Every single perception is limiting. Every single range of expectation is limiting. Every single perception limits you to one specific aspect of reality. It limits you to one bubble. Now, cool. So I've already explained to you how your expectation is creating the reality that you don't want, is selecting the reality that you don't want. Now, I'm going to explain to you how you can begin to change your expectations. And to be honest with you, the answer is as simple as just fucking changing it. Like, there is no secret technique or, I don't know, complex structure that goes towards it. All you have to do is change what you expect. And also maybe change what you believe, and change your perceptions, and change what you place your attention towards, and change your emotionally charged thoughts and things of that nature. Because at the end of the day, all your expectation really is, like I said earlier, is just a key of your frequency or identity or state of consciousness or self-concept. Different phrases and different words to describe the same thing. Your beliefs, your perceptions, your expectations, where you place your attention, your conviction, your reactions, your emotionally charged thoughts. 7 keys of your self-concept / your identity / your state of consciousness / your frequency. And expectations is one of them. But all of these keys intertwine, which is why I say if you manage your expectations, you manage your reality. Because in order for you to manage your expectations, you must first change your perception. And in order for your perception to change, you must first change your beliefs. And when your beliefs change, that also changes what you place your attention upon. Things of that nature. And that is really it. So expect good things to happen in your life. Expect to find a good partner. And at the same time, don't allow reality to mold your expectations. Now, what I mean by this is, in the case of you finding a new partner, right? And you expect this partner to be great and that partner disappoints you. Don't allow that to completely shift you from one polarity to another, where you go from thinking that there are good men or good girls out there in the world to there all men are shit, or all women are shit, there's all women are evil, right? Don't allow that to happen. Of course, negative emotion is something that is inevitable, right? Due to the law of rhythm, there is always going to be a shift from one side of the pole to another. There was always going to be a rise and a fall, a change from the left to the right and from the right to the left. Okay, so whenever a situation like that does occur, right, remember this is not just in the use case of relationships. This can also be for money, health, relationships that aren't about, like, I guess, girlfriends or boyfriends or partners. Like, this could be, I don't know, siblings. Maybe you've got sibling conflict or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm using the example of relationships because I guess it's something that everybody can relate to. Okay, so I mean, all of them are things that everybody can relate to, really, but I just like to use it because that one example that I explained, the second one, I find really funny. Anyway, so I went off on a bit of a tangent there, even making me forget what I was going to say a little bit. So when the adverse event does occur, which is in this case the person, I don't know, maybe cheating on you or whatever, what you're going to do is you're going to feel and collapse the emotion, the negative emotion that is generated. Now, obviously, depending upon the type of event that is adverse that happened to you, that you didn't want to happen, that happened to you, it will change how long it takes to actually fully collapse that emotion, to actually fully feel that emotion. Because, I mean, I've never experienced it myself, believe it or not, but I've heard, heartbreak is, that shit can, I mean, it's called heartbreak for a reason, isn't it? It's called heartbreak for a reason. Damn, that shit has done damage to people I know. Anyway, okay. What you're going to do is you're going to fully feel that negative emotion, and when you're going to you're going to see that emotion for what it really is. Energy. Because all emotion is energy and motion, hence as to why it is termed emotion. So you're going to look at it for what it is, energy, and then that gives you the ability to observe it from a neutral standpoint. And because you're observing it from a neutral standpoint, you then shift from a state of negativity to neutrality. And one thing that I always like to say is that you cannot shift from a state of negativity to positivity without first reaching neutrality. That is a gem. Write that shit down. Okay. Now, After you have begun to reach a neutral standpoint regarding it, and when I say reach a neutral standpoint regarding it, I just mean you are calm now, you're relaxed, you no longer feel that negative emotion that much, or at all, really. You then begin to shift to positivity. Now, how you can shift to positivity is really, I guess, dependent upon you. You can do it by two ways. You can either, one, find the hidden seed of prosperity within the adversity. Because all that adversity is just the lowest level of prosperity. That is a gem. Write that shit down. Due to the law of polarity, we can understand that every single thing has a polar opposite. Now, the polar opposite doesn't indicate something else, but rather the same thing, just at a different degree. The highest level of heat is just the lowest level of cold. The highest level of cold is just the lowest level of heat. So therefore, even in the darkest of darknesses, there is a light. Just a tiny bit of light. Next, the other thing that you can do is simply create an imaginative scene which is in alignment with the desired experience that you would want. For example, this could be someone buying you gifts, or an immense act of service. It really depends on your love language, really, to be honest with you, because I know for some people getting gifts doesn't mean much to them. To others, acts of service is what they want. But yeah, create an imaginative scene in alignment with that, and make sure it utilizes 2 to 3 of your physical senses. Now, why you're doing this is simply because of one thing. Your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between imagination and reality. And your subconscious mind only speaks one language, and that is emotion. It is completely illogical. Another thing, your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between past or future. It only knows the present. Meaning that all of the memories that you have, which have a great amount of emotion attached to them, are actually events that kind of are even not consciously, constantly replaying in your subconscious mind. Imagine your subconscious mind like a USB stick, right? And that USB stick, you plug it in to a laptop, and then it just keeps constantly inputting data, and data. The USB stick is a subconscious mind, and the laptop is your reality. Okay. Now that you understand why you're doing this, after you've done this, right, and you've created that imaginative scene, you've looped that scene, make sure you loop it. Don't just do it once. Loop that scene until you begin to stop feeling the emotion in accordance with the experience. The emotion that you're going to feel in accordance with the experience is going to be different for everyone, because certain people, actually no, in this case, it's probably going to be the same for most people, because it's just that feeling of being loved, really. So it'll be maybe a sense of euphoria, a sense of joy, a sense of gratitude. Now, when you no longer feel the emotion, simply just inject into your mind a singular conscious thought that is in alignment with the imaginative experience that you created. Now, this thought can be anything, really. And also, don't overthink it, because that's a trap I myself fell into. I fell into the trap of overthinking about this one thought that I should inject, like, consciously. Sorry, I don't know why I forgot how to word that for a second. But anyways, I fell in the trap of overthinking about it. And I would think, oh no, I just injected the wrong thought, because maybe I said A instead of D in the thought. Obviously, in this example, the thought would be, oh, I knew someone good would come into my life. And then the next thought that I have is, oh, I knew someone great would come into my life. And then I'm like, oh, fuck, I've fucked it, because I've said great instead of good. And then I was too focused on, don't overthink it, all right? If you think a thought in alignment within the imaginative experience, that is fine. It doesn't matter whether it is similar to the last one or not. Sorry, not similar, whether it is the same as the last one or not. As long as the thought is in alignment with the intention and the attention, you're chilling. All right, cool. And then that is really it. So to summarize with this video, right, all I've really said is, one, your expectations manages your reality, and you be conditioned to expect shit things to happen, so you live in a shit reality. Two, how you can change your expectations is simply just by changing them. Three, what to do when you're expecting things to happen and things aren't going in alignment with those expectations is simple. You realize that you're not actually expecting that shit to happen. You're just telling yourself you expect it to happen when you don't really expect it to happen. Because one thing that you should also notice in regards to expectations is that expectations are different to trusting in something. Expecting something to happen is different in trusting in something, because expectations are in alignment with conviction, right? And conviction is the level of confidence or the level of knowing it. It's not trusting within something, because when you trust in something, you allow for the possibility of another potentiality to exist. Whereas where you know something, there is no other possibility. It is simply just that way. For example, me turning on that light switch. I love to use that example. If I was to turn on that light switch, I wouldn't be consciously thinking about it too much. I would just expect that to happen, right? Expectations, think about it this way. Imagine it when you're talking to someone, right? And then they say something, you're like, oh shit, I knew this guy was going to say that. Or I knew this guy was going to say that. Or they do something and you're like, oh, I knew this person was going to do that. I knew that person was going to do that. It's really just your expectations and your conviction, really. Exercising your conviction is just expecting things to happen in a specific way. Now, how you can make sure that things actually go in accordance with your expectations is simply by also increasing your self-confidence. Because in order for you to gain access to conviction, which is really just the managing of your expectations, what you have to do is increase your self-confidence. And you increase your self-confidence by treating your word as law and doing things that you know you should be doing and not doing things that you know you shouldn't be doing. This is completely personal to the person. I'm pretty sure I even said this in my previous video, where advice could be advice to someone and just something that somebody else just does. Quick example, drinking. Drinking could be advice to another person where it takes over their entire life and makes their life shit. To another person, drinking is just something they do, I don't know, every other Saturday. Or, I don't know, when they want to, when they feel like it. And it doesn't destroy their entire life or it doesn't take over their life. You know what advice is to you and you know what advice isn't to you. Sorry. No, you know what is and isn't advice to you. And that is really all for today's video. And I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. And I will see you next week. Goodbye. Oh shit, I forgot to hit stop recording.